बच्चों हम लोग 2 मिनट में स्टार्ट करेंगे, 2 मिनट वेट करो आप लोग। शाबाश भाई। लाइव करने से पहले कर लेंगे। यूट्यूब पे लाइव है। Hello and good morning, everyone. So let us start our present assignment of completing the ancient Indian history and complete Indian history. I think yesterday we had finished till later Vedic age. Right now, one. Okay. So today let us continue with Jainism and Buddhism. Now in the 6th century BC or 600 BC, the later Vedic age saw the beginning of many changes. One among them was Mahajanapadas, or establishment of great kingdom. Second was rise in economy. Economy was booming. Third was rise of superstitions. Sorry. Third was rise of superstitions. Fourth was reaction against these superstitions. Reaction against these superstitions. Reaction against these superstitions. So the reaction against these superstitions was symbolized by rise of new religious sects. New religious sects. Now first, we will start with Buddhism. Now the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism were: first, complex rituals and sacrifices. Second, expensive ceremonies and superstitions. Third, teachings of Upanishads. Teachings of Upanishads contain the philosophy of Atma and Brahma. Atma and Brahma. Next, caste system. We had seen yesterday that the caste system discriminated against the Shudras. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra were the four Varnas, and the Shudras were discriminated against. And the higher three higher Varnas, were entitled to a ceremony. Were entitled to a ceremony called as Upnayana. And they considered themselves Duja and Dvija. They considered themselves Dvija, that means twice born. Next, Kshatriya reaction against Brahmanical Kshatriya reaction against Brahmanical domination. Now we will see about Buddhism. Princess, the ruling class. Actually, ब्राह्मण्स ने क्या बताया कास्ट सिस्टम के बारे में? ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य एंड शूद्र. ठीक है ना? But what Kshatriya said that we have all the power. All the power. So we should be first in the scale. Understood? Vaishyas, what they said that we have all the money. All the money. So they should also have a higher status. So these people supported the Jainism and Buddhism. Good morning. Good morning. Now we will see about Buddhism. The founder of Buddhism was named as Siddhartha. He was born in 567 BC in Lumbini Garden, near in Nepal. Now, before his birth, his mother had a dream of white elephant entering her womb. White elephant entering her womb. Next, his father's name was Suddhodan. He was the chief of the Shakya clan. Just now we had seen that these religions were Kshatriya reaction against Brahmanical domination. So Gautam Buddha was also a Kshatriya. His mother's name was Maya Devi. Next, his Putra was Gautama. That is why he's called as Gautama Buddha. He married to a girl named as Yashoda, and his son was Rahul. Now, before becoming a renunciant, he had a mystic experience on a journey in which his driver was Channa and his favorite horse was Kantaka. Now, there's a very famous story about four things that turned him towards the path of asceticism. Next, when he left home, that event is called as Mahabhinish Kramana. That means great going forth. And there's a very famous story that a demon appears to stop him from going away. Next, he wandered for 7 years, and his famous teachers were Alara Kalam. He was the exponent of Samkhya philosophy. There are 6 philosophical systems in ancient India. Samkhya is one of them. Samkhya means count. Next, he sat under a Bodhi tree to achieve enlightenment. But what he realized that doing things at the extreme level is not good. You should follow a middle path. So he got this truth under the Bodhi tree. That event is called as Nirvana. Next, after attaining Nirvana, he gave his first speech or first sermon. That event is called as Dhamma Chakra Parivartan. That event took place at Sarnath. Next, he died at the age of 80 at Kushinagar. There's a very famous story regarding this also. A man from lower caste fed him pork, but he could not refuse because of his stature as the leader of the Dhamma. His important disciples were Sariputta, Mogalanna, Ananda, Kashyapa, and Upali. Now, one of the important reasons for the spread of Jainism and Buddhism were support from kings and princes. So Koshal, Prasenajit of Koshal and Bimbisara, and Ajatashatru were supporters of Buddhism. Now, I've summed up the event in this table. So this table is very important. When he left home, that event is called as Mahabhinish Kramana. His enlightenment is called as Nirvana. This is very important. In Buddhism, salvation means Nirvana. At Bodh Gaya, first sermon was at Sarnath, called as Dhamma Chakra Parivartan. This event, this Dhamma Chakra Parivartan symbol is used in our national flag as Ashoka Chakra. Next, death of Gautama Buddha is called as Mahaparinirvana or Mahaparinibbana. Also, Gautama Buddha was a very practical man. He used language of the common people, that was Pali language, to spread his doctrines. Next is Buddhism stands on 3 pillars. This is called as Tri Ratna. Tri Ratna of Buddhism. It is Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Buddha means the Gautam Buddha, Dhamma means his doctrine, and Sangha means the organization that Gautam Buddha brought into practice. To spread Buddhism, Gautam Buddha started an organization called as Sangha. It was divided into 2 parts. One was available for monks, another was available for nuns. This was called as Bhikshu Sangha, and this was called as Bhikshuni Sangha. Now that the enlightenment of Gautam Buddha means he realized 4 truths, that is called as Arya Satyas. First of all, the most important thing is that Sabad Dukkham. Gautam Buddha said that everything in the world is sorrow. The world is full of sorrow, and there must be a cause for this sorrow. This is called as Patitya Samutpada. Next is If there is a cause, there is also a cessation of the cause. The fourth truth is the path leading to salvation from this sorrow is called as Ashtangika mark or eightfold path. Buddhism, Buddhism, Buddhism supports middle path. Ashtangika mark means doing everything in the middle. Right understanding, right thought, right speech, right livelihood, right mindfulness, right action, right effort, right concentration. Next important teaching. Gautam Buddha was a man of action. He laid great emphasis on karma. Next, the most important truth is that whatever we do in our life depends on our decisions. Next, in Buddhism, there is no concept of soul, and he did not say specify whether transmigration of soul exists or not exists. He emphasized ahimsa. Now, this is a common point between Buddhism and Jainism. Common between Jainism and Buddhism. One of the most important things in this Sangha, Gautam Buddha also allowed Shudras to enter. But after establishing this organization, he did not want hostile reaction from the kings and other elements. So what he did, there were certain rules to join the Sangha. Rules. For example, slaves could not join. Bankrupt people could not join before paying their debt. Next, soldiers could not join. Soldiers could not join before getting permission from the ruler. One of the next important thing is that the followers of Gautam Buddha are divided into two parts: Upasak and Bhikshu. Upasak means common people that carry on their worldly affairs and also seek refuge in Gautam Buddha. Bhikshu means 24/7 working people for religion, nuns and monks. Next important thing. Now we will see about the Buddhist councils. Buddhist councils were the congregation of monks to discuss various issues. The first Buddhist council held immediately after the death of Buddha. It was supported by Ajatashatru. Next, the president of this, actually what we have to do is, we have to remember all the 16 data sets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 into 4, the 16 data sets. First Buddhist council, 483 BC. Second Buddhist council, after 100 years, 383 BC. Next, third Buddhist council held by Ashoka. Fourth Buddhist council held by Kanishka. Next, Rajgriha, Vaishali, Patliputra and Kashmir. These were the events where the Buddhist councils took place. In the first Buddhist councils, Vinaya and Sutta Pitaka were compiled. We'll see what these Pitakas are. Next, patrons, Ajatashatru, Kalashoka, Ashoka and Kanishka. Next, president, Mahakashyapa, Sabakami, Mogaliputra Tissa and Vasumitra. Now we can see a trick. RVPK, AKAK and MSMB. Next, the Buddhism was divided into three important sects: Hinayan, Mahayana and Vajrayana. Hinayan means the original philosophy of Buddha, those who follow the original philosophy of Buddha. It also means lesser will. So sometimes in the exam you might encounter a question: what do you understand by Hinayan and Mahayana? Mahayana means great will. No? Hinayan believed in the original philosophy of Gautam Buddha. In Hinayan, Gautam Buddha was considered as a man, a great man, only a teacher. He was not given divine attributes. In Mahayana, the followings were changed a little. Now Gautam Buddha was considered to be a divine being, and here the bodhisattvas became more important than Buddha. Bodhisattvas means beings that could attain Buddhahood, but they do not do so that they can teach other people. They are altruistic in nature. Understood? Next important thing is that in Mahayana Buddhism, there was beginning of image worship. In Hinyan Buddhism, initially Buddha was not shown in statues. Only certain symbols were shown. Certain symbols were shown, like tree, Bodhi tree, and empty throne, empty seat, and halo behind this. And some devotees must be here. Next, Mahayana. We seen this Buddha was considered as a divine. Now in Mahayana, Gautam Buddha was given a proper human form. First images of Gautam Buddha were carved in this doctrine. Next is Vajrayana Buddhism. This is Tantric Buddhism. Here, the chief deity is Tara, female Buddha. Now we will see about the Buddhist literature. The Buddhist literature initially was in Pali language. After 600 years, from 1st century BC and AD, when Mahayana began, they shifted to Sanskrit language. Shifted to Sanskrit language. For example, Buddha Charitra by Ashwaghosh. Buddha Charitra by Ashwagosha. It is written in hybrid Sanskrit. The most important literature is Tripitaka. The three important books here are Vinaya Pitaka, Sutta Pitaka, and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Vinaya Pitaka contains rules and regulations for the monks. Sutta Pitaka contains direct sayings of the Buddha. Abhidhamma Pitaka contains philosophy of Buddha's teachings. Next is Jatakas. Jatakas are an important part of Buddhist literature. They are the stories of previous births of the Buddha. Now we will see about contribution of Buddhism to Indian culture. First of all, paintings. Ajanta paintings have Buddhism as their theme. Next, sculpture. Gandhara School of Art and Mathura School of Art. Gandhara was in the area of Afghanistan. Mathura is in Mathura. You will see the differences in a few moments now. Next important thing is stupas. Stupas were nothing but a funerary mound where the tomb was enclosed by a dome, solid dome made of bricks. Next, Chaityas. This is very important. Chaitya, the difference between Chaityas and Viharas. Chaitya was a place of worship and Vihara means place of residence. Now, an easy trick to remember this is V for Vihar and V for Villa. Villa is a place where you live. Next, rock cut caves. Example, Barabar caves and Nagarjuni Kill. Barabar caves. Next, Buddhism promoted education through universities. Examples are Takshila, Nalanda, and Vikramshila. Now, these are very important from exam point of view now, because Nalanda was in the current affairs. Next, development of languages. Pali and other local languages developed through the teachings of Buddha. Now, Buddhism also promoted Indian culture to other parts of the world. For example, during Ashoka's reign, it traveled to Afghanistan and Southeast Asia from Sri Lanka. Now while Buddhism declined in India, it continued to flourish in Southeast Asia in the medieval period. The next topic that we are going to see about is Mahajanapadas. Mahajanapadas. During when the later Vedic age came to an end, the Janpadas or the territories were transformed into Mahajanapadas. This means great kingdoms. There are 16 great kingdoms mentioned in different texts, Buddhist and Jain. The major source of this information is Anguttara Nikaya, a Buddhist text. Now, these Mahajanapadas were of two types. These Mahajanapadas were of two types, monarchical and non-monarchical. Non-monarchical. In the monarchical form, king was the most important figure. King important. In the non-monarchical form of government, they are also called as republics. Republics or Gana Sanghas or tribal oligarchies. There was not one king but many kings. Not one king but many kings. Next, monarchical kingdoms were situated in the Indo-Gangetic plains. Indo-Gangetic plains. They strictly followed the Brahmanical system. Strictly followed Brahmanical system. Next is non-monarchical systems are located at Himalayan foothills. Now, because the greatest asset was also their greatest weakness. Discussions and debates before voting on questions. Before voting, ultimately, ultimately Ganas were defeated by monarchies. Most famous republics were Vajji. Vajjis was a confederacy. In the republic also there were two types, confederacy and single clan. Vajjis were a confederacy of certain clans, example Shakyas. Now in the Mahajanapada section, you have to remember certain. This Mahajanapadas and their capital. Kashi's capital was Varanasi. Shravasti was the capital of Koshal. Anga was the capital. Champa was the capital of Anga. Magad was the capital of Rajgriha was the capital of Magad. The later capital was Patliputra. Later capital of Magad was Patliputra. Vaishali was the capital of Vajjis. Kushinagar and Pahopuri were the capital of Mallas. Mallas was also a republic. Suktamuti was the capital of Chedi. Kaushambi was the capital of Vatsa. Hastinapur, capital of Kuru. Achichatra, Panchala. Viratnagar was of Matsya. Mathura was the capital of Surasya. Pratishthan, capital of Ashmaka. Now this is important. Capital of Avanti. Capital of Gandhara was Takshila. Cambodia, Cambodia's capital was Rajapur or Rajour in Hazara district of Punjab, Pakistan. Now we will see certain important Mahajanapadas. The most important Mahajanapada initially was Koshal and Magad. Koshal and Magad. Koshal's famous ruler was King Prasenajit. He had matrimonial relations with Bimbisara. His sister was married to Bimbisara, and this marriage gave Bimbisara Kashi as a dowry. Avanti was ruled by Pradyota dynasty. Next, Magad. Now, Magad became the most powerful of the Mahajanapadas, defeating all its neighbors. The reason for the rise of Magad are first, fertile, fertile soil. Next, vicinity of iron mines. Third, important trade routes passed through Magad. Important trade routes. Fourth, ambitious rulers. Ajat and him, for example, Ajat and Bimbisara. Bimbisara had the first standing army in the country. Fifth, well defended capitals. Well defended capital. Sixth, use of elephants. Use of elephants. Now this is important. Capitals. Rajgriha was surrounded by 5 hills. Patliputra was on the confluence of 2 rivers, Ganga and Son. And third river also met it a little downwards. Now we will see the important dynasties of Haryanka dynasty was the first dynasty that we know about. Haryanka's famous rulers were Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, and Udayin. Next dynasty was Shishunaga. Shishunaga dynasty, famous ruler of the Shishunaga dynasty was Kalashoka or Kakavarman. Next, Nandas. Mahapadma Nanda was the greatest of the Magadhan rulers. The last one was Dhananand. Next one is Mauryas. The important rulers of Maurya were Chandragupta Maurya, the founder. Next, Bindusara, Ashoka the Great, and last one is Brihadrata. Next, Shungas. The founder of the Shunga dynasty was Pushyamitra Shunga, and his son was Agnimitra. Agnimitra is also a hero of a play written by Kalidas, Malvika Agnimitra. Next is Kanvas. The Kanvas were founded by Vasudeva Kanva. After the Kanvas, in Deccan area, the most powerful rulers were Satvahanas. Satvahanas. The most important ruler of these Satvahanas were Gautamiputra Satkarni. Now we will see about Bimbisara. Bimbisara was also called as Senia because he had the first standing army in the country and a large standing army. Now, Bimbisara used certain tricks such as matrimonial alliances and war. We've seen he married Koshal Devi, which got him Kashi. Next, he married Chilana, a princess of the Lichavi family. Lichavis was a republic and a very powerful one. Next one is also married Khema, daughter of Madra in central Punjab. This brought him political prestige. He also defeated King of Anga. The Anga means present day Assam, Brahmadatta. He maintained friendly relations with Avanti. Now we will see about Ajatashatru. Now this is important. Ajatashatru was a patricide. अवंती अभी जो प्रेजेंट महाराष्ट्र का एरिया है महिष्मती एंड उज्जैन इसको कैपिटल था मतलब एमपी और महाराष्ट्र Ajatashatru was a patricide. Most of the rulers of Haryanka dynasty were patricides, means they killed their fathers. Ajatashatru was remarkable for his military career. He defeated Lichavis of Vaishali. He waged a war with Koshal and got back Kashi. He had two famous devices, Rathamusal and Mahashila Kandaka. This was a catapult. Mahashila Kandaka and Rathamusal. So organized organized mass killings. Now one of the most important questions you will encounter is Which of the following laid the foundations of Patliputra? Now, Patliputra was founded by Ajatashatru. He had a meeting with Gautama Buddha. This is also depicted in sculptures at Bharut Stupa. So you might encounter a question. Bharut Stupa contains the life story of which of the following kings? Ajatashatru will be the answer. He convened the first Buddhist council soon after the death of Buddha. Next is Udayin. Udayin was the immediate successor of Ajatashatru. Now we've seen who led the foundation of Patliputra. Ajatashatru. Udayin made Patliputra as the capital. Next dynasty was Shishunag. The last Haryanka ruler was Nagadashat. He was killed by his minister, called as Shishunag. Now this Shishunaga shifted the capital to Vaishali. This is important. Shishunaga shifted the capital to Vaishali. Next important thing, they also defeated Avanti, made it a part of Magad. Next, he was succeeded by his son Kalashuk. Kalashuk or Kakavarman. Second, he had the second Buddhist council. We had also seen the 16 data sets above. Killed by the founder of Nanda dynasty, Mahapadmananda. Mahapadmananda was the founder of Nanda dynasty. He is called as Ugrasen. He had certain titles such as he had a very large army. Ikarat means the sole ruler. Next, Sarva Shatrantak means destroyer of all the enemies. Mahapadmananda is mentioned in the inscription of Kharavela of Kalinga. Now, this Kharavela was the ruler of Odisha. Coastal Odisha was called as Kalinga. He belonged to the Chedi dynasty. Chedi dynasty. Atigumpa inscription was of Kharavela. Now, regarding Mahapadmananda and Kalinga, Mahapadmananda defeated Kalinga and brought back idol of Jina, idol of Jain Tirthankara to his kingdom. Now, this idol was again taken by Kharavela of Kalinga. Now, this Kharavela of Kalinga was a Jaina ruler. He was a follower of Jainism. Last Nanda ruler was Dhananand. Now, Dhananand was not a very popular ruler because he extracted heavy taxes in a very cruel manner. Dhananand was overthrown by Chandragupta Maurya with the help of Kautilya. This leads us to the Mauryan Empire. Bhuvan. The 6th century BC, we've seen the rise of Mahajanapada, but at the same time, India was also in the grip of Persian invasions. The first one to invade India was Cyrus, but this did not extend to mainland India, the present country. It only extended till Afghanistan. The next invasion was by Darius I. He had he annexed Punjab, and this region became the 20th satrapy of Iran. Now, you might encounter a question. Satrapies was a system of government in which of the following? It was the Persians who used satrapies as a system of governance. Persian Empire was also called as Achaemenian Empire. Next, effects of Persian invasion. Growth of Indo-Iranian commerce. Next, prepared ground for Alexander's invasion. Alexander attacked India because Indus was a 20th satrapy of Iran. That was a part of Iranian government. Ashoka's edicts also bear the imprint of Persian invasion. Ashokan pillars were also like the Persian pillars. Next, Alexander's invasion of India. Now, Alexander started his career from Macedonia. Moving east, he first defeated the Persian Empire, and he on he wanted to capture the whole world. To put this plan into action, he wanted to capture India also, India till China. But he had been fighting continuously for 10 years. So his army refused to move forward. Because of this, he had to abandon his plans of moving to the east. And also there were some other causes, some other reasons. For example, Battle of Hydaspes. Battle of Hydaspes. It is also called as Battle of Dedham or Battle of Vistata. This battle took place between Alexander and Porus. Before attacking Porus, there were certain rulers such as Ambri of Taxila who surrendered to Alexander. Porus was a ruler of Abhisar. This was one of the reasons the high-pitched battle caused the Greek soldiers to retreat. They did not want to move forward, and also they had heard about Indians using elephants. They were not acknowledged to using elephants. Next is effects of Alexander's invasion. Political unification of North India under the Mauryas. Because of Alexander's invasion, certain small kingdoms were conquered by Alexander. This disrupted the balance of power. Disrupted balance of power. And the next ruler who wanted to become the Samrat or the sole ruler could easily conquer these defeated kingdoms. Next, system of small independent states came to an end. This we have seen, but disrupted the balance of power. Direct contact between India and Greece established. Now we will begin with the Mauryan Empire. After overthrowing Dhananand and with the help of Chanakya, Chandragupta Maurya became the ruler of Magad. He started expanding from the Punjab area till Magad. Now the sources for study of Mauryan Empire are Arthashastra. Arthashastra was a book written by Kautilya. It is a book on statecraft. It also contains a very famous Saptanga Rajya theory. Saptanga Rajya theory. It means the kingdom was the state was to be consisting of 7 limbs. 7 limbs of state. Next, second source for the study of Mauryan Empire is Mudra Rakshas. It is a drama written by Vishaka Datta. It is on the tricks used by Chanakya to win over Rakshasa, a minister of Chandragupta Maurya. Sorry, a minister of Dhananand. A minister of Dhananand. Next is Indica. It was written by Megasthenes. Megasthenes was the Greek ambassador. Greek ambassador to Chandragupta Maurya's court. Ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. But the major thing regarding Indica is that it only survives in fragments. And quotations of later writers. Other literatures include Puranas and the Buddhist literature such as Jatakas. Okay, one major thing that we have left in the 600 BC is that there was second urbanization in India. Second urbanization. the age of Mahajanapadas. Also, this period also saw the beginning of first coins in India, called as punch marked coin. Now, archaeological sources about the study of Mauryan Empire include punch marked coins. The Mauryan Empire, the coins of the Mauryan Empire included symbols as tree in railing, tree in railing, and crescent on hill. So you might encounter a question: which of the following symbols belong to which of the following empire? Tree in railing and crescent on hill. Next one is northern black polished ware. Wooden palace of Chandragupta Maurya in Patliputra. Wooden palisade. Wooden palisade at Kumrahar and Bulandibag. 80 pillared hall and Kumrahar. The next secondary archaeological sources: Junagadh rock inscription of Rudradaman I. This inscription is written by Shaka ruler Rudradaman in pure Sanskrit. Next is edicts of Ashoka. Ashokan inscriptions. It was first deciphered by James Prinsep in 1837. This question was asked in the last attempt. Written in Prakrit language and Brahmi script. Now we will see the major edicts of Ashoka. Major rock edicts. There are total 14 major rock edicts. They deal with administration and ethics. Now, rock edict 13 is very important here. It describes Ashoka's Kalinga War. The type of inscription of Ashokan Empire is rock edicts. Then major pillar edicts and cave inscriptions. These are important. Barabar caves. Barabar caves. Barabar caves were donated by Ashoka to Ajivikas. We'll take a short break of 5 minutes here. आज ही खत्म करेंगे हम लोग कैसे कंटेंट बहुत ज्यादा है यार प्लान तो था सब कुछ खत्म करने का 4 घंटे मतलब 8 घंटे में टोटल लेकिन नहीं हो पाएगा 8 घंटे में सब कुछ सिर्फ टॉपिक दिलवाएंगे तो 8 घंटे हो जाएंगे मेरे हिसाब से एचएंड मेडिकल मॉडल टाइम नहीं मिला मेडिकल में कट करना पड़ेगा मॉडर्न क्वेश्चन का भी ओवर बोलते रहना जैनिज्म हो गया ना हमारा। जैनिज्म नहीं हुआ शायद। जैनिज्म नहीं। जैनिज्म हुआ। Okay, last. See only the most important things regarding Jainism. First of all, the founder of Jainism is Rishabhadev. Rishabhadev. Actually, there is no founder of Jainism as such, but we consider him to be the founder of Jainism. And in Jainism, there is a concept of Tirthankaras. Concept of Tirthankaras. Age, there are 24 Tirthankaras. In this age, the 24th was Mahavira or Vardhaman. 23rd was Parshvanath. First was Rishabhadev. Next, Mahavir, the 24th Tirthankara. He was born in 540 BC at Kundagrama. This is important. Where he was born and where he died. His father was Siddhartha and mother's name was Satyavati. 1 second, class. I have lecture and problem. Okay, class. The father of Mahavira was named as Siddhartha. His mother's name was Trishala. Trishala was the Lichavi princess. Now the life story is similar to Gautama Buddha. He left his home at the age of 30. He wandered for 12 years. Whereas in the case of Gautama Buddha, the time was 6 years. 6 years. So in in Jainism, the salvation is called as Keval Nana or Kaivalya. This was attained by Mahavir on river Rijupalika at Jimbika Gram. He attained the greatest spiritual knowledge called as Keval Nana. Now, we will see the principles of Mahavira. The three important principles or three ratnas of Jainism are right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. It is also called as Samyak Vishwas, Samyak Gyan, and Samyak Karma. The next important thing, there are 5 vows in Jainism. They are Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Aparigraha, and Brahmacharya. Now, the starting 4 were given by Parshvanath. Only the last one was given by Mahavir. They rejected the Vedas completely. And there is everything at an extreme level in Jainism. So, in Jainism, Ahimsa is taken to an extreme level. That is why they automatically get cancelled out of occupations such as farming. Now, there were, I think we had covered it yesterday, no? Jainism, right? The followers of Jainism was again divided into 2 sects. The ones who wear white clothes are called as Shwetambar. Ambar. The one who do not wear clothes, they are called as Digambar. Now, this forming of 2 sects is considered as for a historical event. That was famine at Magad. The Southerners, the Digambars are also called as Southerners. To escape from the famine, they migrated towards the south. And when they returned, they found that the Northerners had become lax. This led to a split. Now, the leader of the Digambars was Bhadrabahu. And Chandragupta Maurya also accompanied this saint. The leader of Shwetambara was Stula Bahu or Stula Bhadra. Okay, one important thing, the Jain literature was in Prakrit language or Ardha Magadhi or Prakrit language. Similar to Buddhist council, there were 2 Jain councils. First Jain council was held at Patliputra. Second Jain council was held at Vallabhi, Gujarat. The Jaina books are called as 12 Angas or Agamas. Now we will see the political history of Mauryan Empire. Chandragupta Maurya. He overthrew the Nandas to become the Samrat. Now he started expanding from Punjab portion. This we have seen. In the Greek sources, he is called as Sandrokotas. Assisted by Kautilya, Chanakya, or Vishnugupta. This is important. All the 3 names are of the same person. In 305 BC, he defeated Seleucus Nicator and he married the daughter of this Seleucus Nicator, who was named as Helena. A political marriage. Megasthenes we have seen. He was a Greek ambassador of Seleucus Nicator. Chandragupta Chandragupta Maurya became a Jain, and he ended his life in the traditional Jain fashion of starving to death. That Jain practice is called as Santhar. That Jain practice is called as Santhar. Sorry. Few years back, there was a controversy in the Supreme Court regarding this practice. The people were forcing their parents to commit this practice. Santhar, ritual suicide by starvation. Go on. Next is Bindusara. Chandragupta's son was named as Bindusara. He conquered south, and he was called as Amitra Ghat or Amitrocades. Now, important thing regarding Bindusara is he received ambassadors from Syrian king. The name of the ambassadors was Dimachus and Dionysius. He also asked for certain things such as dried figs and sophist or a scholar and some wine from the Greeks. He supported Ajivikas. Now, Bindusara appointed Ashoka as the governor of Ujjain. Ashoka the Great. Ashoka the Great was the only ruler who has renounced fighting after winning a war. And the only war he fought was the Kalinga War. Now, to enhance his change of heart, the Buddhist sources say that he was a very cruel person. He killed 99 of his brothers, sparing only one, Mogaliputta Tissa, the little one. Now, he fought a war with Kalinga in 261 BC or 262 BC. The major things that we understand of Ashoka are from the Ashokan inscriptions. Ashokan inscriptions are written in 3 languages and 3 scripts. 3 languages and 3 scripts. Prakrit, Greek, and Aramaic. These were used in northwest part of the empire. In the rest of the empire, Prakrit, Brahmi was the script used for Prakrit language. The titles of Ashoka are Devnampi and Piyadasi. These titles are mentioned in his inscriptions. His name is mentioned in only 4 inscriptions. Ski, Udegulam, Nittur, and Gurjara. These are the 4 inscriptions where his name is mentioned. Now, after the Kalinga War, Ashoka shifted his policy from direct war to cultural conquest, which he called as Tamagos. After the Kalinga War, Ashoka was fed up of the violence and he came under the fold of Buddhism. He came under the fold of Buddhism in 241 BC. He visited the birthplace of Gautam Buddha at Lumbini Garden. Here, after visiting, he reduced the tax. Reduced tax. Now we will see that Ashoka's Dhamma. It was not Buddhism. This is very important. Dhamma means is policy, not Buddhism. It was the mixture of all the religions taken together. The moral principles of all the religions. Next, later Maurya. After Ashoka's death, we have seen that Ashoka had stopped fighting. So his army was not as strong after his death. And after his death, a civil war followed and the empire was divided into 2 parts. The last Mauryan ruler was assassinated by his commander-in-chief, Pushyamitra Shunga. Now, sometimes it is called as Brahmanical reaction. Next is Brahmanical reaction. Sorry. Pushyamitra Shunga was a Brahmin. And all the Mauryan rulers followed different types of religions. And they did not support Brahmanism as such. Ashoka's order of non-killing of animals was a loss to Brahmins because they got their wealth through officiating at sacrifices and all these functions. Now, certain important points regarding administration. Samaharta and Sannidhata. Sannidhata meant the treasurer. And Samaharta was the chief in charge of collection of all revenues. Adhyakshas were the officers. Adhyaksha, Rajuka, Mahamatra, Mahamatra. These are all the officers. Ashoka started a new type of officer called as Dhamma Mahamatras. Dhamma Mahamatra. Megasthenes says, this is very important. According to Megasthenes, the army of Mauryan Empire was run by 5 committees of 6 members each. Sorry, 6 committees of 5 members each. 6 into 5M. Same was the case with administration of Patliputra. It was run by an administration of 6 committees of 5 members each. Department of Commerce and Industry. Okay, sorry. The committees of Mauryan of Patliputra were industries, foreigners, births and deaths, trade, manufacture and sale of goods, and collection of sales tax. Now this is a little important. 80 pillared hall discovered at Kumbrahar. Now Ashoka built a lot of stupas. In the Buddhist text, it is said that Ashoka built 80,000 stupas. Now there are certain, we will see about the Ashokan pillar. It consists of a monolithic pillar of buff grey sandstone. Buff grey sandstone. On the top of it, there was a abacus, a round disc, crowned by a bell-shaped capital. Above this capital was an animal. Our national emblem has been taken from Sarnath pillar, the 4 lions, and Satyamev Jayate is taken from Mundaka Upanishad. The 4 animals on our national emblem are lion, elephant, tiger, and tiger is there or not? Horse and bull. The 4 lions and also 1 more lion in this central portion. These are separated by a Dhamma Chakra. Next is post-Mauryan India. After the decline of the Mauryan Empire, the large unified empire broke up into certain factions. Let's see Shungas. Pushyamitra Shunga was the Governor General of last Mauryan ruler named as Brihadrata. He founded his own independent kingdom. The important thing regarding Pushyamitra Shunga is that he defeated foreign invasions from the Greeks. And during his reign, Bharut and Sanchi Stupa were renovated. The 2 entrance gates of Sanchi Stupa were added by Shungas. Got it? And the last ruler of Shungas was Devabhuti. He was murdered by his minister called as Vasudeva Kanva. The next is Kanva dynasty. The Kanva dynasty and Shunga dynasty, they were Brahmins. After the Kanva dynasty, in the Deccan area, we found that the most important successor of Ashoka were Satavahanas. Founder was Timuka. Now Nasik and Nanegad inscriptions throw light on the reign of Gautamiputra Satkarni. One important thing regarding these people is that they have matrilineal influence. Matrilineal, which means they added the name of their mother to their name. For example, Gautamiputra means son of Gautami. They issued larger number of lead coins. Next, they were the first to issue land grants to Brahmins. First to gift land to Brahmins tax free. Tax free. Their capital was Paitan or Pratishthan. This is important. They also built Nagarjuna Konda Stupa and Amravati Stupa. Now we will see about the most important ruler was Gautamiputra Satkarni. He defeated Shaka ruler Nahapan and he counterstruck the coins of Nahapan. He took the title as Eka Brahman. Eka Brahman. He performed Vedic Ashwamedha sacrifices. We will directly jump now to King Hala. Hala wrote a book called as Tata Satta Sai in Prakrit language. This is important. This is Amravati School of Art. Amravati School of Art was a style of architecture which used white marble. White marble. Next, this school of art was a narrative one. Narrative. This means that the focus was on the entire story. For example, you can see here this medallion. It shows how a mad elephant was tamed by Gautama Buddha. You can see motion in this Amravati School of Art. We've seen after the decline of Mauryan Empire, foreigners started invading India. The first one to invade India were Indo-Greeks or Bactrians. Now, regarding Indo-Greeks, they were the first to issue gold coins in India. First to issue coins in India, gold coins in India, and first to issue coins which can be directly connected to any ruler because of the name and portrait of the ruler. Understood? From the Greeks, we have derived Hora Shastra, term for astrology, from horoscope. Next, the important Greek king was Menander. He became a Buddhist. And his questions to a monk, Nagarjuna was written in a book called as Milinda Panho. Questions of Milinda. Understood? Next is the Shakas. Shakas came from Central Asia. They found the Shaka in India in the 1st century BC. The most famous ruler of Shaka was Rudradaman I. The most important thing regarding this Rudradaman is rock inscription of Junagadh. It was the first inscription to be written in pure Sanskrit. First pure Sanskrit inscription in India. It gives the detail about the repair of Sudarshana Lake. Repair of Sudarshana Lake. Next is Parthians or Pallavas. Parthians or Pallavas, they are Iranians. We've seen in the beginning also, some time back also. Parthian invasion 516 BC, 600 BC. The most important king of the Parthians was Kundafurnis, during whose reign Saint Thomas visited India. Now, the most important dynasty was Kushanas. Kushanas belonged to a tribe which was called as Yuachis. They had come from Central Asia. The most important ruler of Kushanas was Kanishka. Now there were two families of Kushanas, Karpaishes and Karpaishes 1 and 2. An important thing regarding Kanishka is Kanishka did a lot of things, such as he started a new calendar called as Shaka from 78 AD. Next, he conquered Magad, extended his power as far as Patliputra. Next, he of the Chinese, but he was defeated by the Chinese. His capital was Peshawar or Purushpura. Next, second capital was Mathura. Became a Buddhist. He held the fourth Buddhist council. His coins contain images of different deities from both Hindu, Buddhist, and Greek mythologies. During his time, he supported Mahayana Buddhism, and Mahayana Buddhism became a new sect. He had important scholars in his court. For example, Ashwagosha, who wrote Buddha Charita. This we have seen. Next, Nagarjuna, who wrote Madhyamik Sutra. Charak was a physician. During Kushana's time, there was also the first surgeon in India, Sushruta. He wrote a book called Sushruta Samhita. Now, Kushana supported famous styles of architecture. They are called as Gandhara School of Art and Mathura School of Art. Now, Gandhara School of Art used blue gray sandstone, and the images of Gautam Buddha were very aesthetic. Gautam Buddha was shown as a very muscular man. Next is Mathura School of Art. In the Mathura School of Art, the image material used was red sandstone, and it was not so much aesthetic as Gandhara School of Art. Gandhara had influence of both Roman and Greek influence. Mathura School was purely indigenous. Indigenous. As the Mauryan rule was running in North India, during the same time, the South India was under the grip of Sangam age. Sangam means assembly. Sangam age, the name Sangam age comes from the three assemblies that were held by the poets in South India. And the important historical evidence we get from this Sangam age is from the Sangam texts. There were three Sangams. Three Sangams. First Sangam was held at Madurai. These Sangams were supported by Pandyas. Second Sangam held at Kapadapuram. Third Sangam at again Madurai. Now we will see the important texts. Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam is a book on grammar written by Tolkappiyar. Silappatikuram. These two are Tamil epics. Silappatikuram and Manimekalai. Silappatikuram is written by Ilango Adigal. Manimekalai is written by Sattalai Sattanar. The three important kingdoms of South India were Chola, Cheras, and Pandyas. The important thing that you have to remember for the exam is their symbol. The Chera symbol was bow and arrow. Chola symbol was tiger. And Pandya symbol was fishes, carp fish. You have to also remember their capitals. Capital of Chera was Vanchi or Karur. Chola capital was Urayur. Next, Pandyan capital was Madurai. There was also a very famous book called as Tirukural. It was a book on philosophy written by Thiruvalluvar. Now the Sangam age was ended by certain people who called themselves as Kalabras. These Kalabras were having Buddhist views. Tolkappiyam also refers to four castes. Arasar means the ruling class. Anthanar means the wealthy class. Vanigar means trade and commerce. Velalar means large landowners, rich peasants. Okay, this much, build only this much from Sangam age. And also you have to remember the location. Cheras correspond to the Kerala area. Pandyas to the south Tamil Nadu. Cholas to the northern Tamil Nadu. Now we will see the Gupta Empire. After the decline of Kanwas, a new dynasty arose in the Magadh area. They were called as Guptas. Now, important thing regarding Guptas is that they were Vaishyas. They were traders who became rulers. The founder of the Gupta dynasty was Sri Gupta, succeeded by Ghatotkacha. Now we will see the chronology here. Sri Gupta, Ghatotkacha, Chandragupta I, Samudragupta. Before Samudragupta, after Samudragupta, there was one more ruler called as Ramagupta. But he was killed by Chandragupta II. And after that, Kumaragupta I and Skandagupta. Guptas issued the largest number of gold coins in India. Chandragupta I is considered as the real founder of the Gupta Empire. Because in 319, 328, he started a new calendar called as Gupta era. Gupta era. Next, he married a Kshatriya princess of Lichavi from Nepal called as Kumaradevi. And this marriage is commemorated on coins. Chandragupta I married Kumaradevi. And a drama has been written by a drama is written on this episode called as Devi Chandraguptam. Devi Chandraguptam. Chandragupta I was succeeded by his son Samudragupta. Samudragupta took the title as Lichavi Dohitra. Lichavi Dohitra. Lichavi Dohitra. The most important thing regarding Samudragupta is his Allahabad pillar inscription. It was written in Sanskrit language by court poet his court poet Harisena. He is also called as Napoleon of India by Vincent Arthur Smith. The important things regarding Samudragupta is that he had different aspects to his personality. He was a restless conqueror. He used to fight continuously. Next, he was also an expert in poetry and music. This we know because of his titles, Kaviraj. And his coins. In one of his coins is seen as slaying the tiger. That is called as tiger slayer type. He also performed 2 Ashwamedha sacrifices. This is also given on the coins. This is Kaviraja title. Ashwamedha type of coins where the sacrificial horse is shown. Horse is shown. Next is Lyris type of coin where is seen playing the veena. Next one is tiger slayer type where is seen killing a tiger. Next is Chandragupta II. The successor of Samudragupta was Ramagupta, but he was killed by Chandragupta II. Chandragupta II also took the title as Vikramaditya. Now Chandragupta II had 9 famous jewels. 9 jewels called as Navratnas. Being Vaishyas, he married a Brahman princess from south called as Vindhyas. Vakatakas. He married a Vakataka princess. Sorry. Chandragupta's daughter was married to a Vakataka prince called as Rudrasen. So indirectly he also controlled Vakatakas, Vindhyas or Maharashtra area. Now Vindhyas. South of the Vindhyas, the kingdom was called as Vakatakas. This Vakatakas was founded by Vindhya Shakti. Founder Vindhya Shakti. Now, title of Chandragupta II is Shakari, means destroyer of Shakas, called himself Vikramaditya. Ujjain was the second capital, Chandragupta II. He was the first Gupta ruler to issue silver coins. Now we will see the famous Navratnas. Dhanvantari was a physician. These are important. Kalidas, playwright or dramatist. He wrote the dramas, three dramas, Malvika Mitra, Vikram Urvashi and Abhijnana Shakuntala. His two epics are Raghu Vamsa and Kumara Sambhav. Two songs are Ritu Samhar and Meghadutam. Next Navratna was Vararuchi, architecture. Vittal Bhatt, music. Varahamira, this is important. He was an astronomer and mathematician. Amara Simha was a linguist. He wrote a dictionary called as Amarakosh. Tapanath wrote Jyotisha Shastra or astrology. Harisena wrote Allahabad pillar inscription. Now, the most important thing regarding Fajyan's visit is regarding Chandragupta I is the visit of Fajyan. He wrote a book called as Fu Ho Hi, or record of the Buddhist kingdoms of the East. Fajyan has also written about the deplorable condition of the Chandalas. His major motive of coming to India was collecting Buddhist texts. Collecting Buddhist texts. Next, another important thing regarding exam point of view is Kumaragupta I. Kumaragupta I. He started the Nalanda University. This might be asked in this year's attempt. Nalanda University was founded by Kumaragupta I, and it was destroyed by Bakhtiyar Khalji. Bakhtiyar Khalji. At the end of his reign, Pashyamitra defeated the Gupta. Next important thing is Skanda Gupta, son of Kumaragupta. A Bidari monolithic pillar. This is important. The administration of Gupta is also important. Gupta kings took titles such as Param Bhattaraka, Maharaj, Raja, Parmeshwara, Samrat, and Chakravarti. King was assisted by council consisting of chief minister and several other ministers. Sandhi Vigrahika was a minister for war and peace, foreign affairs. We'll take a short break of 5 minutes, then we will continue. Yeah. So you can